Greetings, y'all. Kalanar here. Bit of a day one highlights, overview, and recap from 3.13 Echoes of the Atlas, as well as the Ritual League. So, streamed a bit, about 6 hours yesterday, and took a rest. Ended up going back to some leveling offline once I recuperated a little bit. My brain was starting to fizzle out towards the end of the stream there. So, thought to just take a little more casual and come back online today. So we'll be streaming later today. You can check out my Twitter, or if you already have notifications on Twitch, you'll see when that happens. But getting right into it, so we got to level 75 at the end of the day yesterday before I just finally crashed out for the night. And we are currently building up our map pool, progressing towards the Maven and Conqueror content in the Atlas. But we got pretty lucky on some of our drops yesterday. So if we check it out here, so we did get 2 exalts, and the second one here was a little bit sketch. So one of the crashes that I had was about 30 seconds after I got my second exalt. We were in Delve, picked it up, 30 seconds later crashed. Wasn't quite sure if it was going to hold on to the inventory there, but luckily we got through it. And we also found about 60 chaos, so 30 of it's left over. I picked up some at Series Steps. I got lucky and a gold rim dropped for me. No tabula, but we did get lucky with a 5 link that perfectly fit my necessary gem setup. And we'll get into that a little bit later with the build. But overall, drop-wise, went pretty smoothly, and all the rest of my gear is pretty trash. Nothing special here. So cutting just into it is Ritual, right? So Ritual is pretty great in my opinion. The leveling portion of it is more mediocre, where you can tend to get over leveled as you are doing a lot of ritual content. Playing rituals is really nice though, so there is a little bit of frustration there of I'm already over leveled for this zone because I've been playing ritual, but I want to play more ritual. So if you're just kicking back, being casual, and having fun with yourself, having fun by yourself, or with some of your friends, then no worries, just enjoy some ritual and you'll have a lot of fun. So the other comment that I have is I found myself deferring a lot of items when I was leveling, where I couldn't just buy anything. So that felt a little frustrating, but also kept me pushing forward to do more ritual content, which got me over leveled. So there was a bit of a balance to manage there. But when we got to maps, ritual is fantastic. It feels great popping open all of your rituals. When you're leveling, you probably won't be hitting all of your rituals every zone because you have to go way out of your way, and it feels really inefficient. When you're in maps, it's all condensed and you're going to be clearing the majority or all of your map anyway. So you come across all of those rituals, pop all of them, and the amount of tribute that you're getting is higher. The density is higher. You can juice your maps more. So you will end up being able to pick out multiple items just straight out from the window, not relying on deferring things unless they're like the big higher tier items that you're going for, or larger stacks of currency, things like that. But even just in white maps, I've been pulling out multiple stacks of currency, different items that I'm looking for, ritual splinters, things like that. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're still leveling through the acts and not quite happy with ritual, keep pushing on until maps. You will enjoy it more because it will get better and better the further in the acts you go and progressing through maps. So with that, I know there's going to be a lot of T16 shenanigans going on, especially combining vessels in with that, where you can pull ritual mobs from your previous rituals into your maps and just pushing that value even higher. So there's going to be a lot of strategies around that I'm looking forward to seeing as the days roll out here. Hey guys, Future Kalanar here. One thing that I did want to add in very quickly into this little segment is a quick tip that I have for rituals specifically. Just going through normal playthrough, I realized I need to stop checking my ritual altars after every single ritual. I'm excited to see what new loot is there, but quality of life wise, clear speed time, it was a lot smoother if I just checked at the end of the map So if you're not aware, there's a button down at the bottom right next to your skill bar. You can click on that to access your favors menu, and you can actually buy and defer all of your stuff through there. So do a favor to yourself. This might not apply to hardcore, so don't take this as written in stone. But for me, at least, over in softcore, it was a very noticeable jump in how much I was enjoying the mechanic when I just checked either after I was done clearing the whole zone or just before I left that area, if you are looking at ritual, you're still leveling. So check it out. Interested to see what you think about that, and if there's any other tips that you have that I might have missed. So jump back to the rest of the video. The build itself, I'll have some footage rolling in the background here of just playing through simple white maps, nothing fancy, but just to give you an idea of how the character actually feels. So it the league start itself was a little bit slower than I'm used to for a typical mine build, but it's very solid. I was dying a lot because I was a little loopy going into the stream and going into league start, and that was one of the reasons I took a rest and then just did some offline leveling. But the build itself in functional hands is really solid. You'll appreciate it if you like the damage over time play style, and even if you don't, it's less impactful feeling like a dot build than you'd see on a lot of bleed builds or other things like that. The area coverage is really good, and the boss damage ends up stacking up pretty great. And you saw my gear, everything is garbage. There's only a few things contributing to my damage outside of my passive tree, so even if you're super unlucky, you'll still have a breeze with this. But the build started clicking into place once I got to the later acts, and by the time I was at Act 10 Kitava, deathless, even in a very delirious state, breezed through it without any problem, almost instantly phasing through each of the different segments of that fight. And now that I'm in maps, I'm instantly killing bosses, instantly just deleting metamorphs that come up, which is kind of iconic of the minor play style. And I'm face tanking ritual mechanics. I'm face tanking rituals themselves most of the time, unless I'm dealing with some of the mobs that just hit really hard that can crit you, kind of like a trap. And I'm really excited to see how this is going to shape up into the Maven and Conqueror content. So fighting multiple bosses, mines are notorious for pre-stacking a lot of their damage on Conquerors, Shaper, things like that, even after the damage reduction penalty that comes in when bosses are spawning in. So I'm really looking forward to how this is going to continue progressing. And I think the next steps for me are, as we looked at my gear earlier, I have horrible gem links. I'm not leveling as much stuff as I need to. My gear is overall garbage, only sitting at like 3.5k health. And we're going to be pushing that higher and higher and filling out the rest of the gear, filling out the rest of our gem links, and really just starting to get more and more value out of this build, even though it's already in a good state. So looking forward to that. It's going to be coming out later today and tomorrow as we progress through white maps into, yellow, red, and beyond, testing out those multi-boss fights. And I'm really looking forward to where this build is going. Pleasantly surprised so far, and league start's been great. So that'll wrap it up. Again, I will be streaming later tonight, hopefully tomorrow as well, and we'll get a bit of an idea what the coming weeks are going to look like with refining that streaming schedule. So as always, check out the description for my Twitch, and you can also just go to twitch.tv/KalanarTV. If you like the video, like is definitely huge while I'm growing up my channel, and subscribing, you'll get notifications, and it would mean a lot to me. So you're rad. I hope that you are having an awesome league start. If you're not, keep pushing it through. Hopefully the rituals will bless you and just be getting better and better as you are progressing through to maps, and your value is going to explode. So that'll do it. Have a good one. See you around.